Topic of lecture is report writing. So let's start. So basically what report writing is, report is a formal document that elaborates on a topic using facts, charts and graphs to support its argument and findings. It means that report writing is a type of document in which you elaborates or explains a topic using facts, charts and graphs, so that you can support the arguments you have presented in that report. You do not say anything without presenting the facts and figures. Okay. An elaborate report prepared with evaluated facts helps solve complex problems. When managers come across certain business situations, they ask for comprehensive and well thought out reports that can help them design business plans. So a report is prepared with properly explained and evaluated facts and figures, so that the managers, when they come across any problem, they could solve the problem easily. For example, if you are working in a hospital and you come across a certain problem in your ward, to present that problem to your head, you will have to make a report of it and explains all the facts and figures and the problems that you are facing in that report. If you are writing a report in the workplace, check whether there are any standard guidelines or structure that you need to use. So if you are writing any official report, then you have to first of all check whether your workplace has a standard way of writing reports or not. If not, there are a general way of writing a report as well. So basically what report writing is, report is a So basically what Now coming towards the elements of report writing, there are different types of reports and each has a specific structure usually known as elements of the report. Now coming towards the elements of report writing, there are different types of reports and each has a specific structure usually known as elements of the report. Every report starts with a title page and a table of contents, after which come the main sections, the executive summary, abstract, introduction, discussion and conclusion. Okay, so every element has a general way of writing it. Every report has a general way of writing it, and that general way of writing has these sections such as the summary or abstract, introduction, discussion and conclusion. Executive summary or abstract, in this section you will have to keep in mind that you can only write the important points without explaining them. You have to only write the important points in one or two. Executive summary or abstract, in this section you will have to keep in mind that you can only write the important points without explaining them. You have to only write the important points in one or two sentences and you are not allowed to explain it. Include the purpose of your report and emphasize conclusion and recommendation. This section you should also include write down the purpose of your report writing, why you are writing this report. Include only the essential and most significant information to support your theories and conclusions. As this is a summary or abstract, you are not allowed to explain anything. You should just present or write down the important points of this. Follow the same sequence of information that you have used in the report. Keep this in mind that the sequence of information that you are going to use in report, the same sequence should be followed in summary or abstract as well. You cannot alter the sequence of information in summary or the body. Keep the summary length to 10 to 15% of the complete report. Try not to introduce any new information or point in summary that you haven't covered in the report. The total length of the summary or abstract should be 10 to 15% of the entire report. Then you are not allowed to introduce any new point that you are not going to cover in the body. You should only cover those points that you are actually going to cover in your body. The summary should communicate the message clearly and independently. The summary of the report should contain all the necessary information to communicate the message properly, so that if a person reads it, he or she will get the point without reading the body of the report. Okay, so then we have the introduction part. The introduction part should briefly describe the background and context of the research you have done. Describe the change, problem, or issue related to the topic. Define the relevant objectives and purpose of the report. Give hints about the overall answer to the problem covered in the report. Comment on the limitations and any assumptions you have made to get to the conclusion. This part should describe the background. For example, why have the problem arisen, or how has it arisen, and what is the basic issue and problem. Then the objectives and the purpose of this report that you are going to write. You should also present a hints, not the entire solution, but hints about what is going to be your solution. Then you should also tell the readers that what points your report hasn't covered yet, what points is yet to be discovered even without your report. Okay, so then we have the introduction part. This section serves two purposes. It justifies the recommendation, it explains the conclusion. While you are writing the discussion section, make sure you do the following: present your analysis logically if needed, divide the information under appropriate headings to improve readability and ease of understanding, explain your points and back up your claims with strong and evaluated evidence. So basically what you will do in this part or in this section is that you will have to explain all the points that you have presented in summary in this part, along with the facts, charts and figures and all the explanation information that you have gathered. This section is basically to help the reader understand, along with the facts and figures, why you have written the report. The last point, the last section is the conclusion part. The last key element of report writing is the conclusion section. Present the conclusion as follows. The primary conclusion should come first. Identify and represent the major problems related to the case your report is based on. Relate to the objectives that you have mentioned in the introduction. Keep the conclusion brief and specific. Okay, so the first and foremost conclusion that is related to your report should be presented first. Your conclusion should also identify the major problems. It should tell you the major problems that you have came across, and that your report is based on. Then your conclusion should have the answer to the problems or to the things that you have presented in the introduction part. Your conclusion should also be brief one. Try not to make it a body section. Try to keep it as brief as possible.